The FE Electrical and Computer exam is a challenging undertaking. I've identified 5 common pitfalls that derail even the most committed and motivated candidates every single year. You might think that you're practicing effectively, but are you relying on low quality practice problems that are just giving you a warm and fuzzy feeling instead of building real competency? Are you using the calculator to compensate for weak conceptual grasp of the theory? In this video, I'm going to break down the top 5 mistakes and give you an action plan as to how to deal with these challenges. We will discuss how strong understanding of circuit analysis and power system fundamentals are non-negotiable when it comes to the FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation, how to avoid information overload and make the most of resources that are provided to you on the exam in the form of the NCEES FE Reference Handbook, as well as a calculator which can save you a lot of time and help you prevent a lot of silly mistakes. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to avoid these costly errors and lay out an exam preparation plan that can help you pass the FE Electrical and Computer exam on your first attempt. I've got this small request for you. 77% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. That's a massive number. If this video is helping you out in any shape, way or form, please do me a quick favor. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will not miss out on any content that we've got planned, and it really supports the channel. Mistake number 1, lack of strong foundation. It is crucial not to underestimate the importance of rock solid foundation in core subjects such as circuits, power, mathematics, electromagnetism, and so on. In fact, it is imperative that you make an effort to have a strong understanding of all the concepts in all 17 sections of FE Electrical and Computer exam specification. I especially pointed out circuits, power, and to an extent electromagnetism, electronics, because these topics not only help you with your FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation, but I tell my students who are preparing for the FE Electrical and Computer exam that if you spend extra time and effort in these particular sections, it will also pay off in your P Power exam prep. Typically, I've noticed that students who try to take shortcuts end up with a weak grasp of crucial concepts. And that can lead to critical errors, from misapplication of formulas to flawed problem solving and silly mistakes under time pressure. So if you want to avoid this pitfall, make a conscious effort to understand the concepts using first principles. It is completely natural if some of the concepts don't click with you right away, but be meticulous with your exam preparation and track your weaknesses. Maybe in second round of review, things are going to make more sense for you. The second most common mistake students make is lack of adequate practice. In fact, it is not just practice. It's practice with quality problems, questions, quizzes, sample exams that help you push the envelope. And by repeating those questions again and again, you may end up getting a warm and fuzzy feeling. But guess what? Until and unless you develop sound theoretical understanding, conceptual understanding, and work with practice problems that actually help you think hard and deeper, chances are that you probably are not making that much progress. And you may be in for a big surprise on the exam day. So how can you avoid this mistake? Recognize that practice problems are important, but it is even more important to do quality practice, because that's how you truly increase your competency and confidence. That brings us to common mistake number 3, which is using ineffective exam preparation resources. We live in a day and age where there is an information overload. You can find tons of resources, explanations online on Google, ChatGPT, YouTube. In fact, there are so many well-known universities now that have made their entire courses free of charge on YouTube, which is amazing because we are no longer restricted to textbooks and libraries in order to learn something new. But it is a double-edged sword, because this information overload can sometimes leave you confused. Your attention can become dispersed, which can result in a loss of motivation. You may find yourself doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but in grand scheme of things, are you really making any progress? By using an effective exam preparation resource like my FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation program, everything is outlined for you in a stepwise manner. It contains over 250 lectures covering all the 17 sections of the latest exam specification. The fourth mistake that I find students making is not developing a good understanding and familiarity with the NCEES FE Reference Handbook. As you probably know, NCEES FE Reference Handbook is the only reference material that is allowed on the exam. Now, the interesting thing about this reference handbook is that it's one handbook for all the different FE exams. You have FE other discipline candidates using this handbook. You have FE Civil, FE Industrial, FE Mechanical, FE Chemical, FE Environmental, and so on. FE Electrical and Computer is actually a section within this reference handbook, but there is content related to the FE Electrical and Computer exam which can be found elsewhere in the reference handbook as well. Within my exam preparation program, I help students develop familiarity with the reference handbook by consistently making cross-references to the pages in NCEES FE reference handbook. So whenever you're going through a lecture, I will mention the relevant pages in the NCEES FE reference handbook so that you can have the reference handbook opened while you're working through the content. And if you take this approach consistently throughout your exam preparation, you will know this reference handbook inside out and won't have to waste a lot of time doing Ctrl+F on the exam, which can actually potentially take you to so many different areas of this reference handbook, which has about 400 pages. The fifth mistake that students make when they're preparing for the FE Electrical and Computer exam is over-reliance and under-reliance on the calculator. Let me explain it. I routinely come across students who are obsessed with calculators whenever they're preparing for the FE Electrical and Computer exam and the PE Power exam. Now, calculators are a great resource. They can save you a lot of time on the exam if you know the right functions and features of the calculators. And please make sure you use the approved calculators. There's a list of approved calculators on NCEES website. Make sure to check it out. But the issue is that when students lose track of the core concepts that they're being tested on, and I routinely find this in circuit analysis, when we are setting up equations for KCL or KVL, a lot of times you have 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So students are not necessarily paying attention to what are the important steps that you need to take in terms of circuit analysis, but they're more interested in setting up the matrix, setting up the unknowns, the linear equations, and they feel that that's what they're going to be rewarded on the exam for. Ultimately, you get rewarded for the right answer, but in order to get the right answer, the foundational work is all theoretical. And that's the reason why I call this mistake as under-reliance as well as over-reliance on calculator. When it comes to under-reliance, students feel that, I'm going to be able to figure things out during the exam. Within my FE Electrical and Computer exam preparation program and the PE Power exam preparation program, I actually have focused tutorials on both Casio as well as TI-36X Pro calculators, because I know that during the exam, students won't have time to figure out their calculator features. And that's why all the key features have been laid out in my program in a stepwise manner. Thank you. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, studyforfe.com.